Hello everyone and welcome to traditional draft of Strixhaven, and this is also my set completion series number 60 I think, which will mean that there will be a set completion update of Strixhaven at the end of the video and also in the description below. I am quite close to completing the set. I actually have all the rares and the mystical archive rares, but I still lack, of course, the mythic rares, both from the main set and the mystical archive. And by saying that I own all the rares, I mean that if I opened all my packs right now, I would almost 100% likelihood I would be getting all the rares, because of course I don't own them now, but I have so many packs that by cracking them open I will be filling the rare sets. Alright, a very good pack. I mean the two uncommons here are great, and the augmented pugilist is great. Some nice common removal here. I think I'll still take the pugilist. I could take the divide by zero too, but the pugilist is still quite nice. Especially if you're blue-green, because the echoing equation sometimes is playable. It is not a card I would add into a deck that doesn't have access to green, in a blue deck that doesn't have access to green, but while I will play the augmented pugilist in any green deck, even though there's no access to blue mana. But ideally, it is going to be played in a Quandrix deck. This pack is very good too. I think I'm going to take the mythic rare here. Well, if I get a bookworm, I could actually play the natural order, but even without it, this is a mystical archive mythic, and these are actually the bottleneck currently. You will see in the set completion update that I actually have the least percentage of collected mystical archive mythics. So this pack is great. I think the Mage Duel would be the peak here otherwise, but the Frost Trickster, Prismatic Command, Environmental Science is so many good cards, but there's an actual chance I get to play Natural Order. All I need is a bookworm. This pack is also incredibly strong here. Well, maybe not incredibly strong anymore, but it has very nice cards. It has the nice black 2-drop, nice the hybrid Pledge Mates from Black-White Guild. Really like this card. And then there's the Pigment Storm, which is playable removal. A lesson, not the greatest one, but still a lesson is always nice. But the best cards in here, and one of my picks will be Zimone or the Mage Duel here. Now I would maybe take the Zimone here if I go blue-green, or I can take Mage Duel to still keep more options open, to maybe go to blue-black. I think the Zimone is very good if you get to actually do the thing with her, but it does die to a lot of removal. It has to go to late game before you can start using 4 mana for the ability. I might actually maybe take the Mage Duel now. Of course, also for the reason that this will be playable in a black-green with the Bloom deck. If I knew I'm Quandrix, like 100% Quandrix, I think I would have taken the Zimone in that case, but because I don't know yet, I could easily go black-green, then the Mage Duel is the safer pick there. There's a Brainstorm, which is like okay, it's not amazing. Bayou Groff. If I go black-green, Bayou Groff is the pick to make. Verdant Mastery is not exactly a card you want to play. You would have to be very focused on the some very expensive stuff to play this. So I don't think I'm gonna pick that. It's going to be the Bayou Groff most likely. It's still a playable card even in blue-green, but it's of course a lot better in the blue-black because black-green because that definitely that archetype has a lot of synergy for the Groff. Right. Well, black doesn't seem to happen at least based on this pack, but there are nice blue cards. Well, maybe these two only, and I'll take the Frost Trickster now. And okay, Pest Summoning, there's another Bayou Groff, but I won't be playing two of these if I'm not black-white. I think I'll take the Summoning here. Yeah, pretty easy actually. And okay, another Groff, a Summoning that would work in a black deck, not in a blue deck. So there's a big play which is just a green card. Okay, the blue might not be that open after all. Maybe I should take either the Groff or the Inkling Summoning here. I do like the big play too, it's not a bad card, but if I'm black-green, do I want to have another Groff or the Inkling? I think I want to have the Groff in that case, because I can try to. I already have a pest summoning here for easy food for that card, and I can get something like a Unwilling Ingredient. But now the question is, look at this black-green selection of cards. Deadly Brew is fine. Plum the Forbidden could be okay if you have like a pest summonings and stuff. Unwilling Ingredient crazy good with the Bayou Groffs. Blood Researcher is great if you have the life gain synergies, but I don't actually have them now. So I might actually just take the Unwilling Ingredient because I just took the Groffs. This is such a good synergy there that I will actually go for that. And Last of Malice comes here this late. I'm pretty happy about how I chose my colors here after all. The drought would be actually, I would pick this if I take the Blood Researcher, but now I'll take just an ingredient, and I will take all the Groffs and ingredients now from now on. Well, I can pick some better cards over them, but the more you get these, the more likely it is that you get some nice synergy going on. Okay, I'll take the Leech Fanatic. I like it more than the Spectre there. Oh, I got a Campus here. This is fantastic. I haven't even I haven't played the black-green archetype in a long time, so I'm also happy to get something else than let's say Prismari or the Silver Quill, because those have been my drafts for quite a long time now, with some exceptions, but mostly it has been one of those two. Infused with Vitality, very nice. Well, not very nice, but it's still quite nice card to. It goes into every black deck, even if you don't care about the life gain. Basically makes your creature win anything in combat, and then it can come back. Also triggers enters the battlefield abilities, which might be relevant in some case, although with these creatures not so much. Okay, this pack is also quite good. So I could take the Environmental Sciences, Witherbloom, Pledgemate, Rise of Extus, Professor of Zoomancy, Lash of Malice, Kolos Blood Mage, and Eliminate. And that's like is that a guarantee that I get something good back? I think I'll take the Eliminate because I don't have a lot of removal, and this is great when it can deal, for example, with fractal tokens and elemental tokens also, not only with creatures that the opponent pays with 2 or 3 mana. But yeah, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess there are 6 cards I want to get back, so it's possible that all the 6 cards are taken away by others. There's still a rip apart here for. Yeah, but I'll take Eliminate now, and I'm happy to get any of those other 6 cards here back. Okay, this is interesting. The green card here is not playable, really. Yaji isn't that great either, but it is a mythic rare I have only 2 copies of. And if I pick it, I will lose basically Leech Fanatic, because Leech Fanatic would be the pick out of this pack. It's not a great pack for my deck, but this is a fine 2-drop, especially if I find still some Blood Researchers. But since I do want to complete the set and I lose only this 2-drop, which is not absolutely necessary, I think it's a pretty easy mythic rare pick here. I have a couple of these picked in this draft already. That's pretty nice. Oh, this pack has both Bayou Groff and Unwilling Ingredient. I think the ingredient is slightly more likely to come back. There's also Inspiration for someone. Arrogant Poet won't be a bad 2-drop, but I'll take the Groff now, and I really try to get the sacrifice synergies going on. I have also the Pest Summoning, although I have no learn cards, if I'm correct here. Yeah, I don't. Let's try to find them and pick them. Silver Quill Command. Well, there is a Inkling Summoning too. Yeah, this is basically splashable. One very nice thing about this card with the Bayou Groff is that Bayou Groff is actually a 2-mana card, and the cost here is an additional cost when you cast it. It's not an enters the battlefield trigger, which it could be as well, but you could return Groffs with this thing. But splashing for white here, it is a possibility, but I usually don't want to splash, and the Inkling Summoning is still a nice, lesson to have in the sideboard. If I just get to find those, learn cards. Okay, there's Embrose here. There's a Deadly Brew again. Well, it's pretty good, basically Embrose. Embrose is great, as you can read the black 4-drop here. 4 mana 4/4, great stats, and then it just starts generating value. So, pretty easy pick here. Agonizing Remorse, Witherbloom, Pledge Mage, Fractal Summoning. Now the thing is that I really don't have any learn card yet, and the Pledge Mage is quite good as a 5-drop. The Fractal is great, but I think I'm going to just take the Pledge Mage. If I had like a good amount of learn cards, this would be a more inviting pick in that case, but I'll just take the nice 5-drop here. And Unwilling Ingredient. Scattered Colony is quite good too. Witherbloom Campus would be nice, but I think I'm gonna go for the... If I have 3 Groffs, I can have 3 ingredients. And let's see if I can go turn 1 ingredient into turn 2 Groff. How many times in the draft? Let's try to do that. Here, Karok. Not a big fan of that card when you don't have any life gain synergy, so I'll just take another Lash of Malice here. Oh, wow, look at this. The Blood Mage came back. And this is even perfect because with triple Groff I can just make the pest token and have more food for these things. A third Lash is not as important anymore because, well, if you have 2 of them, that's quite an okay amount. I didn't expect to get a rare back there actually. If I'm going to splash for something, which I probably won't, I'm more likely to do it with the Archway Commons. Now I might want to have access to the Shile too, but I don't think I still will playing the Archway Commons in here. But we will see. Maybe if I get something I want to actually splash. Now Arrogant Poet is fine to drop. Nothing here. Oh, start from scratch. If I play the Archway Commons, I could get this, but hey, I don't actually have any learn card yet. Now that I realized it. I don't have any learn cards. The Poet is nice, but I think I'll take a big play now. I want to have some tricks here. I don't have a lot of removal here. I return to this back quite soon, but the idea is that if you don't have a lot of removal, then combat tricks are slightly more valuable. Although I do have some removal, but they are mostly for small creatures. A couple of Lash of Malices and Eliminate. Well, Eliminate can deal with tokens, but anyway, usually a small creature. And then there's the Mage Duel. So I think I like the big play here with my quite small creatures. I can battle with other stuff. Anyway, here not only a learn card, but it's probably the best learn card I could have for this deck. So this is crazy good rare. It's an amazing one. So let's take it here. Sign in Blood is good, but so is Valentine and Lisette. Actually, both of these are good ones. And the Lisette, whenever you gain life, but I have some life gain here. I will pick it over the Sign in Blood for sure, because both of halves can be nice. But let's see how much of life gain I have here. 1 Leech Fanatic, Poet's Quill, Infuse with Vitality. I can make a pest with this thing. This can gain me life. Yeah, I have actually some number of synergy for the Lisette here. Fantastic pick here. Okay, confirm it. Alright. And some nice black and white here. Go blank. Yeah, but the Mage Hunter's Onslaught. I actually have no 4-drops. No creatures, nothing that costs 4 mana. So it's good for the curve too to have this kind of stuff here. I don't actually have that many green cards, but there are still some. But there's a lot of black cards. 14 black, 8 green. Doesn't matter. Now this is more interesting choice. I could take another Onslaught, but I could just take the Professor of Zoomancy. I have, well, there's 13 creatures. I do kind of like the Zoomancy Professor now, but the Mage Hunter's Onslaught is quite good. It's a tough choice, I think. But I feel like I want to have the creature now. I want to have the ability to curve out, because if you have like all the removal spells, you don't get to play anything to the board. You are too reactive. That can also be bad. So this is a fine drop at any stage in the game, I think. Okay, there's another pest summoning, but I have only 1 learn card, so it's not necessarily that useful, but I'm not going to take like a reflective golem either. And who says that I can't find another learn card? I might want to have more pests, maybe even double pests. It's a possibility, not a very likely one. Okay, so here no learn cards, but good options. I could still take the Witherbloom Campus. I do like the mana fixing. I am at 22 non-lands. I'm not sure if there are something I can just want to cut right away, but 2-drop ingredient number 4. Spectre wouldn't be bad either. And the Karok Wrangler is good, but I think I'll take the Campus. I feel like these are mediocre enough now that I can just take the thing that makes my mana work better. And I can like now take the Spectre. I think that makes quite a bit sense now that I didn't pick a card from that previous. Well, I did pick a card, but it was a land that doesn't cost a slot in my deck. Cockwork Archivist could be sideboarded in. This is best of 3 event. And here I'll take the Humiliative. I might want to splash for white when I'm sideboarding. I'm not gonna main deck it, but I could consider it. It's not likely, but it's something that could happen. Alright, Novice Dissector. No, I don't like it. So let's take the letter if I actually want to splash. Helps with that. I don't have +1/+1 counter synergies here. And the Apprentice, Study Break. I don't know. If I splash for white, I have 1 expel. I don't think I'm gonna have 2 expels. I'll just take the uncommon. I don't think the white splash is going to really happen. Let's take whatever. I could actually have taken the Defend the Campus, I guess. Oh well. Well, I got either of these two. Is it gonna be just an ingredient? Well, I think I'm taking the actual 2-drop now. I feel like the 3... Wow. Oh yeah, natural order was 40 gems and then some 50 rares. But yeah, with the 3 ingredients and 3 crofts, I think it's enough ingredients. I do like to have these, 2 mana 2/2s also to play on turn 2, because these crofts show up as 2-drops here. I really don't have. I would have to remove actually 3 of these 2-drops because I am not guaranteed to get the Groff always on turn 2. Even if I draw the card, I mean, I would have to really literally have the ingredient available too. Right, so this is 41 cards in there. I don't think this... Yeah, it's not a natural order deck. And this is sacrifice a green creature, search a green card. So I can't, for example, sacrifice the Unwilling Ingredient. Which would have been actually nice. Well, not that nice because I don't have the Bookworm here. Because you'd have to, pay 4 mana for this card, so if you get like a 5-drop with it, it's not gonna be that great. But yep, that is it. Yeah, not going to play these cards. I am going to... this deck actually could play just 16 lands. It's quite a low curve. I have only 1 5-drop, only 3 4-drops here. I don't have an Environmental Sciences for my only learn card. I really have only... I mean, people took the learn cards because for example, I think in this same pack was a Cram Session. I'm pretty sure there was. That's the black-green hybrid card. Gain 4 life and learn. That's really one of the weakest learn cards. And that still was taken from that pack. I would have played maybe it in this deck, probably. Not sure about it. I haven't some decent lessons to get. I might have taken it, but that's not happening right now. Now I have to figure out if with the Sile I want to play the Archway Commons, but I don't think I do. I have 2 Campus lands for my main color, and I actually want to have at least the possibility to play a turn 1. So I would need a Swamp on turn 2 and a Forest, Swamp on turn 1 and a Forest on turn 2. That's the only way to make the, this ideal curve out with the Bayou Groff. So if I play too many Endurance tapped lands, that can't happen. That said, getting to do the combination on turn 3 isn't that bad either. But ideally, turn 2 would be pretty fantastic. So I don't want to play any more Endurance tapped lands than the 2 campuses here. And the only decision here, I think, is whether I should play 16 lands. Oh, by the way, the Valentine, while it is a 1-drop, the Lisette is quite good, and I think I kind of played as a 4-drop. So I do have a bunch of 4-drops. I think this means I will play 17 lands. But what's the cut? It could be the big play. I might sideboard it in. I have like a legit 2-drops here if I forget about the Groffs. I have a Poet 1, Fanatic 2, Amplifier 3, and then these Unwilling Ingredients which can... And also the Lash of Malices are cards that can get rid of the opponent's 2-drops even if I don't draw mine. So that's kind of 5 sort of 2-drops there. Yeah, I do like the big play though, but maybe it's just... I have 16 creatures though, I could easily cut one, but what do I cut? I don't want to cut the ingredient Bayou Groff stuff, and I don't want to cut the 2-drops, and then the 3-drops are too good to be cut, and the 4-drops maybe too. I guess the Spectre of the Fence, I kind of wanted, like the idea to have a flyer here to try to, you know, and also has the thing with this card is that if the opponent gets to stabilize but they don't get to attack you fast enough, this can still, you know, win the game for you, either by flying or just using the 6 mana ability. So I like this in this deck now, but I think the cut has to be either a big play or the Spectre. It maybe could be a Lash of Malice, but I want to have the 1 mana option there. I think I'm gonna do so that I will cut the Spectre, and then if it feels like that it's going to be good from the sideboard, then I will put it into that deck. So now I will do like this, and I think it's pretty easily an extra swamp because I will add 15 lands, which are 8 and 7. So let's put 8 swamps just for the because of the 1-drops here. 8 swamps and 7 forests here. This one. So that's 10-9 mana base. And I have some powerful cards. I like the curve and I like the synergy between the Bayou Groff and the ingredient. Also the Bayou Groff synergizes with the Professor of Zoomancy's token and the Kalos Blood Mage's token as well. And the Poet's Quill is great. And the Valentine is great. And the Lisette is maybe a little bit better, but the Valentine is sometimes okay too. And Ambrose is very good as well. So let's go to match number 1. Why is it white? Oh, it's white because of the double-faced card, the white one. Okay, no synergy for this yet, but I can get... Well, I don't know, I might just get the flyer actually, but the Poet's Quill is obviously a sick card, so... And I mean, this kind of hand can't be mulliganed. I mean, it's simply just... I mean, if this was a regular 2-drop, I would still keep this hand. Like the Amplimancer, the 2 mana 2/2 that pumps for 5 mana. I would keep this anyway. So opponent did mulligan to 6, and they are thinking about going to 5 or what to return. Okay, they kept 6. And I feel like I want to just play get the flyer after all. Okay, impulse getting land or creature. Could whiff too, but land or creature is quite unlikely to be happening here. So yeah, I can actually just start. Yeah, I will get the Inkling summoning, and then I can, you know, if I want to equip it. Equip cost is 2, but I might actually not have a turn 4 played. We will see. Well, actually, now I do. So that's 2 black, so I can cast this. And you know, Bayou Groff can be just played for 5 mana. It doesn't have to be used with the sacrifice stuff. Alright, so Ambrose. So I'm asking the opponent now a lot of questions. Because the Poet's Quill will just win any long game. Ambrose is great. I will play the Ambrose here, of course. And I can just start putting counters on my guys. Or I can draw cards if it's a 1 toughness creature, but they have a heated debate. I was like thinking about it a bit, but if they didn't have it, it would be so good. I could have played the Professor of Zoomancy, but especially now that I did draw the untapped land, I can just go with this. So if I If I played the Zoomancy on the previous turn, I would now play the Emperors and kind of miss my 5-drop. The Poet's Quill is enough to win unless they have they could have a lesson that deals with it. They could have the same that I have, the start from scratch. This destroys an artifact, among other things. Introduction to Annihilation, although that would be a pretty clumsy if they're gonna get that and use 5 mana for it, give me a card and all that stuff. Okay, Professor of Zoomancy. So, okay, well, without the Mage Duel, I was just considering to attach the Poet's Quill and make them double block, because that's what they would do. This would have 5 toughness, and then I could play the big play here for kind of a punishing value. But now I could just go with the Mage Duel. Although that doesn't let me, well, it can let me still, because I can Mage Duel the Zoomancy Professor. This would have, 6 toughness and 4 damage, so it couldn't be traded with the 1/1. But if I go for the equip into big play, I'll just play a tapped land, I guess. Then I will have the Mage Duel here available for later. I guess I'll go for this play. Also get 9 life here, not that it matters when their opponent is not raising me, but okay, they didn't want to continue that game, so that means of course they didn't have any answer for the Bayou Groff, which would have been with the counter now and the equipment, it would have been a 7/6 lifelinker. Okay, this could be a deck against which I can play the Spectre, because it is blue-green splashing for red most likely. So blue has some flyers, green has, well, a reach guy at 2 mana, but it doesn't block this unless they have 8 lands. But what would be the card? What's the least useful card against such a deck? Well, I didn't see any early plays, so I could have the Lash of Malice. Let's try it. I will take the Spectre and I will sideboard in the Lash of Malice again if it seems that it's going to be good after all. Well, this is a fine hand. I can play the Ingredient, turn 3, have the Blood Mage, probably draw a card. Oh. Menace lifelink, non-token creature an opponent control would die, exile it. Okay. Well, it's a double green, the Lisette, so why don't I just do this? It's a Menace. I have 2 1/1 Menace guys here. That's pretty funny. But of course, when they have 2 blockers, that's it. And that's right away a thing that I would want to. I will need to have the Lash of Malice in. So they did have a pretty good target for the Lash of Malice there. But I don't actually mind trading with it. So if they play a creature and double block either of these, I mean it would be a Paladin, of course. I will. Okay, well, no trading then. They had a removal spell for it and Blood Mage. Okay, 1 forest is good. If I draw any green cards, I can actually cast them. And definitely I will just draw a card. The 1/1 pest isn't, anything too amazing here. Let's see if they have an answer for the Emperors again. They could have a mountain into Heated Debate. Okay, another target for Lash of Malice. Even with the ward, it's only a 3 mana removal spell on the 4 mana creature here. So let's. By the way, you know what is pretty sick? The Emperors just kills this, because this can also target opponent's creatures. It's put 1/+1/+1 counter on another target creature, whoever controls it. Then it gets dealt 2 damage. So this thing kills 1 toughness creatures. But it's very risky if they have mana up, because if they have a pump effect, they get the permanent counter. So, they have a mountain, so let's see if they have the Heated Debate too. or another stuff like Devouring Tendrils. But yeah, if they have untapped mana, it's a lot riskier to use the Embrose. Because if they have a pump effect, yeah, I don't want to give them the counter. It doesn't draw the card unless it's a creature I control with a +1/+1 counter. So it only kills the opponent's cards. Okay, well that is fantastic news. That is fantastic, because now I have the Mage Hunter's Onslaught for the 5/5, and I can kill this thing. Oh yeah. So, yes, I'm sure that you get a counter and then it dies, and then I will have the removal on the 5/5. They still have the flyer, but it's gonna die when I pay 2 mana, especially if they are tapped out. Prismar is good. Okay, they need 2 mana trick, which they could have. Well, okay, they just don't care. Well, I mean, of course, if they don't have anything, why would they bluff that? They obviously want to... What? That's sick draws. Obviously, they want to add to the board, if that's the only option they have. But yeah, this is now crazy. So you get a counter. I will pay 2 mana. Then you die, and then, because why not, I drew a Mage Duel, which I think is gonna get rid of this. Professor of Zoomancy would be nice, but I kinda like that they are tapped out, so let's make it sure that it's gonna die. And then I can attack still with both here. I can take their apprentice here. Yeah, that was not fun for the opponent. Definitely not. I probably will be... No, I'm gonna attack with the Embrose. Yeah, let's deal damage here. Because I could have played the Professor of... I would have, of course, played the Professor of Zoomancy, but I could have left this thing untapped and eat the creature token to draw a card, but then I wouldn't have dealt 4 damage, which was more relevant here. Okay, my rares. Rares were winning that match, both games. On the draw, most likely. Let's see if I can ever get a turn 2 Bayou Groff. Well, there's the Bayou Groff event. I have the Swamp and Forest, but nothing to sacrifice. But I have the Pugilist for turn 3, maybe the Zoomancy for turn 4, and then I can have a cheap Groff if I so desire, by sacrificing the token here. Another Witherbloom. Oh, and they're on the play and have the ramp effect here, so that means I'm in somewhat of a trouble here. Let's hope they ramp hard here. Oh, that's bad. That is bad, because they're gonna start playing their big stuff way before me. At least they didn't get a fractal summoning, only a pest summoning. Okay, now I draw the tapped land. Not that it matters with these lands. I have untapped land plays available for quite some time now. I have in fact 6 lands here, so if they can't kill this will become more field trips. I would have liked maybe these 2. Although my deck doesn't have anything to ramp into, but the learn effect would have been good. Okay, Mascot Exhibition. that is nasty. Alright, so no point going for the ingredient in the Groff here, because I can just play the Professor here, and then I can play a Groff for the full price. But this is amazing. They are 1 mana away from the Mascot Exhibition. They get the... Yeah, that's let's see, that is 9 power and 7 toughness for 1 card. That costs 7 mana, and it's a lesson. And they have a Witherbloom apprentice. I need now my removal, but I don't get them anyway. So okay, I guess to play a lot of 5/4s, so there's that. I'm not gonna, of course, offer any trades with the Pugilist, because this could be an 8/8, and if they don't have removal, opponent is playing black, but let's just live in a world where they don't have any removal. This could actually win me the game still. So if they want to trade with the Zoom and see, that's a fine thing. I will have things to block with. They just jump here. They only need time because their mascot exhibition is of course going to be such great value for them. Well, I will be playing my 5/4s here now for a couple of turns. I will need to trade with the 4/4. Well, it's not, I mean, actually given my hand, this is not the worst. The problem is, of course, that they can... Okay, I got now this thing, but they have, of course, 4 cards in the hand. So they will trade simply with the... Well, it doesn't matter. I will just attack, and if I can trade off all this stuff, I still have a 5/4, 5/4, and the Mage Hunter's Onslaught here. That's quite okay, actually. And this threatens to become a 8/8. By the way, I haven't drawn lands, which is also good because I have drawn great spells here. But funnily, I think I had 6 lands on turn 3 already in my hand, or turn 4 at least. And since then I haven't drawn any more. Opponent's deck is, by the way, completely bonkers here. This is just so many good cards. So if I attack with the Groff now, they're gonna have some nice blocks there, but no reason to play the Onslaught here. I just do attack with the... They didn't attack with the flyer for some reason. They don't want to raise, they just wanna... Okay, what's this? They are jumping here, or... That's very interesting, actually. I don't care about jumps there at all. Okay, 1 land and this is an 8/8 Trampler. They have 2 cards left. Let's see what they are. And I have a Mage Hunter's Onslaught for something very big they might have. I don't think I'm gonna Onslaught any of this. Oh well, I don't have Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Imagine if this was just a land. Okay, they can fly a bit now. They can fly for 5 damage here. Yep. And they have a target. I really needed the Mage Hunter's Onslaught on this thing. I really did need it. So now the only way I can win here is if I draw a land, and even that's not gonna probably be good enough. They can win me in 2 turns. Okay, well that thing gives reach. I remember from my draft number, I don't know, 3, 4 or something like that, when I was losing to an opponent's flyer, and then I just of course could have used the big play and maybe win the game. I chose not to do that. If they don't have triggers for the Pledge Mage, it can be okay, but what do I attack with? Of course the 5/4s attack. Pugilist doesn't attack. So the rest will be blocking, and one of them will get an additional counter and block the Spectre of the Fence. The Deny is, by the way, very good with all the life gain stuff they have. Yeah, they have a very good deck. Witherbloom Apprentice and the Deny here. Of course, Mascot Exhibition with the field trips. That's like a perfect thing to ramp into and get the exhibition. They have a very good deck. If I win this match, I'm super happy. But of course, this is just game 1. Okay, they have something, or they can use the Dina. Maybe they just want to block with it and they accidentally tapped it. Okay, they're still jumping here, which is completely fine for me. I mean, they are of course they have a 2-turn clock here, so it's quite normal that they just try to win 2 turns. Okay, that's a poet. Okay, it's not a trigger. Okay, they only deal here. Well, they get to drain some life though, but let's see, they do have to... So let's give the counter to the Pugilist. I get to actually scry here. I think I'm gonna scry into a land. That is most likely going to happen here. Am I still losing on the next turn? They have an empty hand. I'm gonna go to 5, so if they draw a Magecraft trigger, then yes. Eliminate. I'm actually taking it, right. That buys me more time. Draw. And which of these guys is gonna attack now? This is a 4/4 Trampler. Just such a waste to not attack with it. So I maybe attack. And maybe they block in such a way that eliminate is good. I have to gamble here a bit. Because I'm gonna be in a bad shape. They can attack. Okay, though. I have to block the Dina. Yeah, I'm not dying here if they unless they draw something, because Dina I have to block because it can become very huge here. So if they draw just a land, I think I have the win now. But we will see if they attack with all, which they should do. And let's see, they can pay life for that thing. Unless I miscounted, I am in. Yeah, but if they have a card that doesn't do anything, so pass the blockers for now. And this has to be blocked because you know it can become huge. So let's block that one, and then I will block the Pledge Mage in here, and then I will do this, and I will eliminate. It doesn't actually matter much. I will just eliminate the Witherbloom Apprentice here. And they need one more damage or a Magecraft trigger or anything. Okay, that's not gonna happen anymore, and I won't be exiling this thing because I would lose. I have exactly 1 life. Oh, I actually have 2 life. That was my pest that died here. Okay, good. So my turn. Just scry here. I mean, it should be win with the Trampler thing anyway, but I want to scry into the land just in case. So that was close. Incredibly close. But hey, opponent had the fast mascot exhibition, but the thing is that they started jump blocking these 5/4s instead of making a group block to get rid of them, and that was the thing. Even though they got very nice trades with the mascot exhibition, I just kept playing these 5/4s here, and they didn't want to trade with them. They jumped their creatures, and that way these were the relevant damage dealers in the end. If they would have traded off these earlier, it would have been a different story. But how about this deck? Do I want to have my own Spectre here? I think it's going to be quite okay against the flyers I saw here. So maybe I should play it, but definitely I won't be losing the Lash of Malices now. Cockwork Archivist is also something I could have here. Let's do it like this and then figure out what would I cut if I do this. Because I would need to cut 2 cards. I guess the Poet. I can cut the Poet, that's for sure. But now I have to cut either the Archivist or... I don't think I'm going to cut the Amplimaster. I want to have 2 drops still available here. The Spectre. Is the Archivist going to be better than the Spectre? It could. It could. This does gain me life though. But what is the cut here? 1 cut is needed here. Kind of feel like it's the Spectre, but not sure. It could still be the Archivist, but nice defensive card. Man, I don't want to lose a 2 drop. I want to have the 2 mana plays available here. I think it is the Spectre after all. I do like the Professor of Assumancy more. So yeah, let's cut the Spectre. I will play the Archivist though. It blocks most of their stuff. Also blocks everything from the mascot exhibition. No, still no Bayou Groff turn 2, unless I draw one of the 3 Unwilling Ingredients right away. But I have still a fine hand here, of course. kill spell 2-drop. And a pretty fantastic card. Now, question is, do I want to have Lash of Malice up? I think I want to. Because they might have the Pledge Mates. Oh no, the Apprentice, I mean. So no reason to play the Quill yet, I'll just play my random 2-drop. Because I think I will want to play the tapped Campus. Okay, that is just going to actually die. Maybe I offer a trade first. Yeah, they are not gonna block, but I can offer it. I'd rather them trade. Okay, they actually choose to do that, which is completely fine. Completely fine. So now I get a Quill, and I get to play my tapped land, and it is going to be a Inkling Summoning. Can't play that and then Blast of Malice. So, okay, they have another Pledge Mage. Well, there is that, but okay, it's maybe time to do it all now. It is. So Lash of Malice. Bye bye. Ingredient. And let's play the Groff. And now I have a 6/5 lifelinker if I want to. Okay, they have a lot of those things. So oh, I even got the swamp here for the Inkling Summoning here. And I can just block the Pledge Mates here if they attack. I don't want them to start gaining life with some random mage craft triggers. Okay, especially when they have a blood researcher up. Although I will, of course, you know, get to kill it if it's a problem. So, am I going to play Onslaught on this turn? If they go for a double block with these two, that's fine, of course. I'm thinking about using the Unwilling Ingredient now to get some information. I don't think I'm going to go for the Onslaught right now, so let's take information from the deck by doing this. Just land. So I will leave the 2/1 to block here. The 3/1. And if they want to double block, that's okay. They buy time, which makes sense. Of course, they get to have a card here. And I could now move this around. No, I might draw something that I want to cast. I think the Groff needs to... Well, I want to keep the Quill on the Groff. If they attack with the Pledge Mage, I will trade, and this doesn't have to be a 3/2 lifelinker in that case. Thing is that they do have, in fact, the Agonizing Remorse, and I have only one card in my hand that they can get it with it. I don't care if they exile stuff from my graveyard. So I might actually want to do the destroy thing right now, after all. I don't have other creatures, so if I lose this, that's also kind of awkward. So yeah, let's do it. Let's kill the Researcher, that is the one that can actually become big. They have something there. Is that a Snakeskin Whale? It's a Doomblade. It is a Doomblade, okay. Well, that I don't understand. Why would they do that in response? That's kind of weird. That is weird indeed. So, do I want to trade with that thing? This thing flies always. That only when they get the Magecraft. I think I'm not gonna trade with that thing. Oh well, that was awkward. They have a 2/1 blocker for it. They get the Doomblade, but that doesn't kill all my guys. does kill quite a bit of them though. So no point attacking, they just block with the assistant, so I'll keep these to block the Ledge mage, I guess. So I've drawn a bunch of lands here, of course, so that gives the opponent a chance. But this is a black token, so Dome Blade doesn't work. So I guess we are in a standoff right now. Okay, funnily, the Lisette is of course a lot better, but it kills also. It gets killed by the Doomblade, so I'm gonna take this card and I'm gonna play the Valentin here because of the Doomblade. And now that means I'm gonna keep this as a blocker still, and I will keep the Valentin the Poet's Quill. It has menace, so they would actually have to double block it. But I will keep this the Poet's Quill now that this thing is in blocking duty. If the Pledge Mage attacks, okay. It can get the mascot exhibition, which is pretty nice. So that's gonna happen next turn. Okay, I need to draw something good, but with the scrying lands I have, I should be drawing most of the good stuff, but I have to keep in mind the Doomblade, which will kill one of my Bayou Groffs quite soon. Well, I mean, because I think I'm gonna keep the Bayou Groffs. I'm not gonna, you know, bottom them. I of course just need to make them use the Doomblade. Yep. Although I don't need this. I'm gonna draw it. Let's do this thing now. This is gonna be. I will leave the mascot. This Inkling to block the Pledge Mage. They can make it life linker, so I do want to just trade with that thing that can gain them life. And now if I play the Bayou Groff, that actually means that I don't get to scry. Now I want to scry because they just, you know, cast the Doomblade end of turn if I play this, so there's no rush. No rush doing that end turn, although not yet. I can scry even. Yeah, I can do this and then scry. Opponent of course has some amount of work to do. This by the way has lifelink already, but I of course wanted to deal the additional damage in there. But I have 33 life points here, so I have a bunch of time to find the good stuff. Which my deck still has, like Embrose. Embrose is just great. Are they going to attack now with the Pledge Mage to get the life here? Now they are doing that. Because this Valentin has actually a triggered ability. Which actually prevents my scrying from happening. But I want to have the pest token here for sure. So upkeep scry would mean I have still 5 mana left. Now I will just draw. Okay, infuse with vitality. That is quite good actually. That is very good. So let's do this. Gain a couple of life points here. Oh, they go for the double block here. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I mean, they have one card I don't know about, but Doomblade doesn't work here, so this is just a complete train wreck for the opponent if this works. So done, because Death Touch means I'm of course going to kill them both, and this is even going to return. So let's see if they have the other card is like a Lash of Malice. That could be the case. But now if that's not the go and I get to have a couple of pest tokens here and all. Yeah, that's basically game over. That's basically game over now. Oh, I didn't actually... No, they are tokens. Yeah, it says non-token. Yeah. A non-token creature an opponent controls dies. Yep. Anyway, Still no reason to play this to the Doomblade, so let's just equip here. That does mean I again lose out on the Scry, but I guess it's fine. That's also a black one that can't be killed by the Doomblade. But yeah, they just lost their mascot exhibition. Now that is okay, but I can deal with it. Okay, this is also, you know, doesn't care about Doomblade. Now I don't have an attack. I could make this a 2-2. It would only trade with either the 3-2 or 2-1 because they can double block. It's so that the Spectre won't be dying. But with the Witherbloom Pledge Mage, I will of course have a pretty big lifelinker here, so the drain ability doesn't actually help too much. They need to draw something very good to deal with the 6/6 lifelinker here. Yep. But they can get double activations at some point. They are now at 10 mana, at 12 they can have a double activation. Oh, don't say you draw immediately an answer for it. Let me gain that 6 life at least once here, please. Okay, that's not an answer for that. Though that is though enabling them a double block. They didn't want to attack. Maybe they are playing around the big play. So now I will trade with the 3-2 and both 3-2s here. I do have like a Lash of Malice. And what else do I have here? Well, the big play I do have too. Interesting. If I play the Bayou Groff now, can I still scry? Yes, I can. Okay, they might, you know, find something for the, like a Mage Hunter's Onslaught or something. So I will do this. I will get actually a couple of 1/1s if they go for the. I don't know, only one 1/1 because this is a token. So let's see. Oh, they go for the jump block. That has to be wrong. Why don't you also throw the serve in there? I don't understand. But I'm very happy it happened. So now I will just play the land and this for full price, and I will have a scry available here still. Yep. Now Doomblade finally finds a target, but I have more of these green cards in my deck, so it's. I mean, I had to make it go away at some point. I'm at 40 life here. Yeah, the Poet's Quill, not exactly a fair card. Spectre is doing some work for the opponent, but that's not gonna be enough here. And now that they threw away their 3/2 token, they can't actually kill the. That's gonna be good enough. They can't kill the Pledge Mage anymore, so let's see what they do. Just jump blocking, and this gives me even a pest here. I'm not sure that's the kind of a strategy that's gonna win them the game. But they are now immune to eliminate. Well, no longer. Oh, that's actually a nice combination, but I do have to eliminate here. They don't even attack with the Spectre. If they're not gonna block with the Spectre, well, I guess it threatens to block these things. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, let's get rid of this guy. Gain a life point, and we can get this and steal Scry, and yeah, they are not gonna beat the Quill here. It's just sick card. Get to play first, and come on. No. Well, I'm pretty happy about this hand, but I just want to have one turn 2 Bayou Groff. Can I have a turn 2 Bayou Groff? I have 3 of them and 3 ingredients. 8 swamps and 7 forests. It's not impossible. Opponent mulliganed, but yeah, Poet's Quill into Inkling summoning is gonna be a pretty nice curve out. Although, actually now I won't be doing that because I have a 2 and 3 drops here so that I can apply pressure also on turn 2. I would have done it because of the mana efficiency, but now because I have the 3 drop, definitely I'll just do it like this. So, Silver Quill. I have a Quill too, and they have a fantastic card. That is great. So let's see, Battle of Rares here now. This is also rare, but doesn't really compare to the Shile here. Anyway, easy attack. They are not gonna block there, I can guarantee that. And Blood Mage, get me a card drop. I have of course a ton of answers, like a couple of these things, exactly, couple of Lash of Malices. So they will get a counter out of this thing. I'm assuming they have a creature on this turn. They could have a 2. They could have a 1 drop and a 2 drop. That would be good. But main point is that I get rid of the Shile before it gets too out of hand, and I get my own crazy good rare here. Okay, well the Dusk Mage is actually better one to give a counter to. So pretty easy. Kill this thing, and then because I have the life linker thing here, I think I want to trade 2, and I will pay 2 life to deal 2 damage. Even though they can attack here, but the point is that I will get I will play the Campus now, because I could play the Swamp ingredient, but I also want to have the green mana available here. So Pest, Summoning or Inkling summoning. I think I like the Flyer with the lifelink thing, so let's take Inkling. But yeah, I want to have access to green mana, so I didn't play the ingredient now. Next turn I will most likely... Well, let's see if they attack. That's a good blocker on my ground, guys. I can make... Well, I guess they can have another blocker that can... Well, black-white though. Okay, Pilgrim is good to block these things. Let's see. I think I'm going to do it so that... Okay, they have Pupil too. Well, that... Okay, that was a good turn. That was definitely a good turn. So... I can equip the Poet, and but it's only kind of netting me 1. I would have actually attacked into the Pilgrim here, but not into the Pupil. That's a problem here now. I might have to go to the defensive even with the Poet's Quill. Now I can play the Reckless Amplimancer and the Inkling Summoning and not attack, but it's too good to attack, right? So if I equip here, I will pay 2, go to 11, and then I go to 14. And they will go to 13. And they still have like I can block the Pilgrim. Yeah, it's the move. It's the move to make here. So I will play the... Well, I could play still the... I do like the Flyer though. So if they attack, I'm gonna block the Pilgrim with the Blood Mage. I'm not gonna block the Pupil here. Although, if I play the Amplimancer and the ingredient, I can just block maybe. But this allows me to have 5 power of Liars. Yep, I will do it like that. Although if I draw another green card, okay, that's actually a tiebreaker. If I draw another green card, I can still play only 1 green spell per turn. So let's do it after all like this. It was, yeah, I could have played either way, but I don't want to be stuck with multiple green cards in my hand with only one green mana source. So that 3-4 isn't gonna win any race. Okay, so I will check what is the trick here. Or do they just want to transfer the counter somewhere? I want to use all the tricks because I should have still the late game in pretty good order here with the Poet's Quill. Being Defiance, that's fine. That was one trick that I dealt with. And now I can attack 6 mana to return. I have 6 mana and this cost 4, so I could move this around if I want to. I think I want to. What do I? I'm thinking about paying life. I wouldn't want to pay life for this thing. Okay, I think I do it like this. So if they want to trade with the Poet, they can trade with the Poet. But I will get 3 life and I will go to 14. Okay, they trade with nothing here. Does that mean they have a way to beat me? Why didn't they block with the Pilgrim, the Poet? I was kind of assuming they would do that. Yep, I can take 4. I mean, why would I care about... They're at 7, I go to 10, and I have a life linker here. What is going on? Okay. Just nothing. They can return the Pilgrim, but they were attacking with these things when they should have left them as blockers. But yeah, the Poet's Quill still wins with the flyer in the late game, so yeah, they are in a... Yeah, that doesn't really help them at all. Yeah, this is just a... I have lost this card myself, and it's just not a fair card at all. It's completely tough. +1/+1 and lifelink. And in addition to that, it learns, so you get always the creature to go with it. If you have a creature lesson, which I do. Alright, Shyle is a risky thing. Also, they can also cast the Emperor's part of that card. But I don't have anything in my sideboard other than like an Expel. But I'm not going to go for the White Splash. I have still the Mage Hunter's Onslaught and the Mage Duel that I can use to deal with that stuff. Of course, Shyle is killed with Eliminate and Lash of Malices, but the Ambrose doesn't die to those things. Spectre. Not sure if I need... Is there something that is bad? I don't think anything is bad here. Nah, that's good. Let's just have this. I want to have all the early stuff here against an aggressive black-white deck. No, I have a 1 mana black card, but that's not the ingredient. So, well, if I lose this game, at least I have 1 opponent mulligans. I will have 1 other chance to get the turn 2 Groff. I mean, with 3 of these and 3 of the 1/1s, it shouldn't be that tough, but... Come on, let's draw that one. No. I will just kill this thing right away. I don't wanna... I guess they could have a Guiding Voice, but if they don't... Oh, well, whatever. So I have no drop for this turn. I can play the tapped land. And then I have Blood Mage, Professor, Bayou Groff. Don't even have to sacrifice for the Bayou Groff unless... Oh, now I have this. I could play the 5/4 now. Should I do that? If they have like an Expel, that would be bad. But I still have the Professor of Zoomancy. This can draw me a card. This might not be that good against most of their stuff, so... Okay, let's go for the turn 3. Turn 3, 5/4 then. And they have Eliminate. They have Doomblade. No, they don't have anything. Let's see if I can connect with it once. If I can connect with it once, that's good. They have study break into environmental sciences, but wait a minute. Why would they do now? Because this will untap. Well, they just want to, oh, they wanted to discard to find a land. That makes sense, yeah. They did find. 1 mana spell there. But yeah, against such a slow start, with this start I have here, I think the opponent is going to be in a big trouble. I have all this stuff still left. This can draw me a card. This can make it hard for them to have a profitable block. And this draws me a card. And I have 10 power of creatures here versus their 4 mana and empty board. That's not gonna be good enough. Let's draw the card. Oh. I got the Quill. But to be honest, I'm gonna win probably anyway. Pilgrim can block. Can I win with the big play here? If they don't block the Zumans, if they block the 2-1, no, that's gonna be 9 damage, so that's not enough. So let's just stop fooling around and get the Poet's Quill here. And equip, yep. I would have equipped the Menace guy, at least that can't be blocked. They could have a Beaming Defiance there, so if I equip the Professor of Zumancy, they might still kill it. And they can block these things, so if equipping those doesn't make any sense. That's the reason I would have equipped here. I could have still had the big play up though, but I still like the idea to equip here. But yeah, this was a showcase of that black rare. Not a fun card to play against, I know that myself. But it is quite fun card to play with if you like easy wins, and who doesn't want to have easy wins. That said, even though I've won so easily with the Poet's Quill, I think the deck was quite nice, and the other rares in this deck were nice. The Valentine / Lisette, I didn't cast the Lisette even once, but I had enough life gain to make this triggered ability quite relevant. And it's also, she's a 4 mana 4/4. I mean, you don't really require a lot of good stuff on top of that, and that triggered ability is insane. You get a permanent +1/+1 counter on your creatures, and just in case they also get a trample for that. And gaining life with this deck is easy enough. So yeah, deck was great, and finally I was able to get into a 3-0 result with traditional drafts, because it's been a while since I got my previous one. I have been losing gems in the traditional drafts quite a bit into my last, I don't know how many, but quite a few of the traditional drafts anyway. So happy to have that result, and conveniently just before a set completion update, so I actually get to have my gem graph. It gets, at least it doesn't look as bad as it would have otherwise looked. So the next part of the video will cover my current Strixhaven progress, which is starting to be quite close to finished. So here is the event result breakdown. Traditional drafts, well, look the same as usually. At least I got a 3-win result now, so I got to increase the final column here a bit. 72% win rate after 30 traditional drafts, and there has been some developments in the premier drafts. I was at some point, if you have been following this series, I was at less than 55% win rate for the premier drafts, because I got this clump of, you know, these 1-win results and 0-win results came there somewhere, and also a bunch of 2-win results. But I've been getting some incredible results lately. So in my 5 previous premier drafts, I have gotten 7 wins 4 times, and the 5th one was a 2-win result. So that was an incredible boost in this in this premier draft business. So I got to a nice win rate now. It's at least over 60%, and Also, I have gotten a nice amount of packs and did get some gems back that I have lost with these low win results. So I'm now a lot happier about the Premier Draft stuff right now. And also I'm quite close to Mythic rank 2 in this month of May 2021. So let's see if I can get there. And here is are the sealed deck events. This won't be, there's no longer a sealed available, so this will be kind of locked down to this distribution here. The sealed deck events of course went very well for me. 2 of them were the Arena Open. One I played in the day one, once the best of 3 one. I got 4-0 in there because that's of course the only way to get to day 2 is to win 4 times without any losses. And then the day 2 was just a 1 win result with a pretty weak pool, but that's sealed, so what can you do? Yep, so these are the event results, and this is my gem balance change after these 60 events plus the 2 Arena Opens, which isn't kind of specified here. These are the 60 non-Arena Open events. And currently I'm still, even though I had a very good streak of Premier Drafts, like I said, I think I said that I had a long time since my previous 3-0 result, not counting of course the draft in this video. So that has been costing me quite a bit of gems, all those traditional drafts, but not so much because I have had good success now in the Premier Draft. So I'm at minus 7,150 gems right now after these 60 events plus the 2 Arena Open events. And these are the amount of packs I have and each of the mythic rare. I did double check before recording this part of the video that these are indeed what my collection currently has. And if I open these packs based on these drop rates, I would be owning this many of these cards. So I'm actually at 100% completion of the Mystical Archive rares and the regular set rares. And this column tells me that how many extra gems I would get when I open all these packs, because of course when you have a full rare set and you open packs, you don't get an automatically upgraded the rares won't upgrade to mythic automatically. You still open rares at the same rate, but the 5th rares will be just worth 20 gems each. So I would get how many this is? 100? Yeah, almost 100 5th rares I would be getting if I opened all these packs, which would give me like around 20 gems, not 22,000 gems total. And the same starts applying to this Mystical Archive. It's very close to completion. I mean, the estimate is very close to the exactly completion. So I have like only 2 extra expected amount of 2 extra mythic rares. Sorry, 2 extra Mystical Archive regular rares if I opened all my packs. But of course, because I'm at the 85% in the mythic rare completion for the archive and 87% completion for the regular set mythic rares, that means I still have some amount of drafts to go. I don't expect that I will be completing the set in the next status update report, and which will be, I mean, I've been doing these things every 5 drafts, and I don't think that in the next 10 drafts that's maybe possible if I really I'm lucky and get to pick a lot of these things during the drafts, but I expect to maybe complete the set during the next 15 drafts. I don't know, it could be. So I will crack all these packs open when this figure is 100% for all the rarities. So that was my one thing. Also, of course, these gems here is not included here. So basically, this shows me that I'm down 7,000 gems, but actually these are plus 2,000 gems, so I'm actually down 5,000 gems. My goal in this set completion projects is always to try to complete the set without losing any gems. Doesn't currently seem like it's going to happen for Strixhaven. It has been so for the previous sets. So this is the first set since Ravnica Allegiance that I have this kind of problems here. But so what? 5,000. Let's say if I complete the entire set and the Mystical Archive with 5,000 gems, that is a pretty darn good deal anyway. So I take that any day. So next draft will be a Premier Draft, and thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.